They say some spirits never rest. That some evils linger where power once ruled. In the quiet halls of boarding schools across West Africa. She walks. Her heels echo through the darkness. KoI. 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 She was a teacher. She was beautiful. She was feared. And when she vanished, she did not leave. Tonight, her footsteps are coming for you. This is the legend of Madam KoI. It was the start of the new school term at St. Mary's Girls' Boarding School, a quiet institution hidden in the forested hills of West Africa. Students laughed, hugged their parents goodbye, and carried heavy bags up the stone stairs. The school looked ordinary in the sunlight, but shadows stretched long in the corridors, and whispers of past stories lingered. Among the teachers was Madam KoI, the woman whose name everyone feared. She was tall and elegant, with dark, flawless skin and piercing eyes. But it wasn't her beauty that terrified students, it was her high-heeled shoes, which clicked sharply against the wooden floor. KoI. 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 Madam KoI was strict, cruel, and proud. She ruled the dormitories and classrooms with an iron hand. Any student who disobeyed her rules, no matter how small the offense, was punished. Some were forced to kneel for hours, others were locked in the supply closet overnight. One student, Amora, was particularly defiant. She had always challenged authority and had a sharp wit. When she accidentally dropped her textbook in the classroom, Madam KoI's eyes blazed with fury. That evening, the echoes of her heels rang through the corridors as she dragged Amora to the headmistress's office. By morning, Amora was gone. Her bed was empty, her belongings untouched, but on the floor, a dark stain. The rumor began to spread quietly among the students. Madam KoI was not just cruel, she was dangerous. Weeks passed. Students whispered of strange occurrences. Doors would open by themselves. Cold drafts would snake through locked rooms. And then came the footsteps. KoI. 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 It began with a girl named Zainab, who stayed up reading. She heard the sound outside her dorm. At first, she thought it was another student, but the steps were too precise, too heavy, and moving backward in the hall. When she peeked out, she saw a tall shadow, the faint shine of high heels reflecting the moonlight. Her blood ran cold. The figure disappeared around the corner, but Zainab never forgot the backward-pointing feet. Soon, more students disappeared. Others were found screaming in their sleep, calling out a name, Madam KoI. One brave girl, Ngozi, decided to investigate. She sneaked into the dormitory late at night, clutching a candle. She followed the sound, KoI. 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 It led her to the mirror. And then she saw it. Madam KoI's face in the reflection, twisted with rage and envy. Her feet, reversed. Her eyes glowed with a supernatural light. Ngozi screamed, and the figure vanished. But the whispers were true, Madam KoI had returned from the dead, cursed to haunt boarding schools forever. Through old letters and whispered stories, the students learned the truth about Madam KoI. She was once a proud, beautiful teacher who demanded obedience. Her cruelty masked a deep jealousy. She envied students who were prettier or cleverer than her. To preserve her beauty and power, she made secret pacts with dark spirits. But her arrogance led to her demise. When her students discovered her dark rituals, she was killed by the spirits she tried to control. Yet, because of her pride and cruelty, her soul could not rest. She became a spirit doomed to wander boarding schools, punishing the disobedient and the proud. The students realized one terrifying truth: anyone who hears her heels at night is in danger, and if the sound suddenly stops, she is standing right behind them. On the 27th night of the term, the remaining students decided to leave the dormitory at midnight. Armed with candles, salt, and whispered prayers, they crept through the halls. Every step they took echoed off the walls. KoI. 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 The sound grew louder, faster. Madam KoI appeared in the hallway, her reversed heels clicking with unnatural speed. She screamed, a voice of rage that chilled the soul. The students ran. Ngozi, remembering the old legends, drew a circle of salt and held up a small charm. Madame KoI tried to cross the circle, but could not. With a final scream, she vanished into the shadows. The students fled the school grounds, never looking back. Yet, as they reached the village, a faint sound followed them. KoI. 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 And they knew the legend was true, Madame KoI never rests. She only waits for the next school to haunt. The story of Madame KoI reminds all who hear it. Cruelty and pride can curse the soul. Obedience and humility are often the safest paths. Some spirits never find rest. What did you hear about Madame KoI? Share your story in the comment section.